Welcome. Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, a really fascinating and pretty chilling world where narrative and memory collide. We're focusing on a specific story you shared called The Whisper Tree's Curse. And we're not just retelling it, we want to peel back the layers, look at its psychological grip, and maybe uncover what it tells us about how stories work and the warnings they sometimes carry.
Absolutely. And what's so striking about this narrative is how, even though it's really eerie, it works like this powerful piece of almost like information. It's clearly designed to make you feel certain things, maybe learn something, a kind of cautionary tale that sticks with you. So we should definitely get into the specifics. What makes this account feel so potent, so memorable for you, the listener?
Okay, yeah. Let's unpack this. To really get the power of the Whisper Tree's curse, we need to start right where Ahmed's story does. An old Punjabi village, lots of tradition, and this really specific warning from his mother. It kicks off with her advice, and it's chilling. If you hear it call your name, don't look back, don't respond, and whatever you do, never touch it.
And right there, that immediate, clear, forbidden rule. That's not just setting a scene, it's crucial for the tension. It really throws a spotlight on something very human, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ahmed just brushes it off.
Yeah, just a village myth, he says, for kids.
Exactly. That rationalization, that tendency we have to think we're beyond old fears, that's precisely what makes the story grab you. It makes what happens later feel, well, almost inevitable, like you walked right into it.
It really does. That dismissal sets him up perfectly because fast forward 13 years, he goes back, his grandfather's died, he plans to sell the land. And it's not just any village he returns to, is it? It feels stuck in time. The description's so vivid. Dusty fields, the slow afternoons, the air thick with heat. It's like the place itself is holding its breath, waiting.
And that taps right into the return to roots idea, which is powerful. It's not just about plot, it's about how deep our history runs, especially in places we've left. And the tree itself reinforces that. It's described as dead, gnarled, crooked like a broken hand rising from the earth.
Wow, yeah.
It's dormant, but it feels menacing, like this ancient thing holding memories, just waiting for him.
And then it happens. The first whisper, Ahmed. And it sounds like his grandfather.
Chilling. That familiar voice makes it so much worse.
And his reaction, he laughs, blames it on being tired. Just like before, trying to reason it away.
It's almost like the tree is just testing him, seeing if he'll bite, gently pulling him in.
So the second night, the pull gets stronger.
It does. This is where it shifts, doesn't it? From him just being there to him engaging, the whisper comes back. More urgent now, still distant. Ahmed, don't leave. And the story's very clear. He knows he shouldn't, but he decides to follow the voice anyway.
He makes the choice.
He makes the choice. It's not just plot. It's like this primal urge overpowering that warning, that ancient taboo. He's stepping over the line, deliberately. And that makes the horror feel earned almost, self-inflicted. It pulls you, the listener, right into his fear.
And as he gets closer, right under the tree, everything changes. The senses just shift. The air turned cold. And this is the bit that gets me. Crickets stop. Complete silence.
Ooh, yeah, that silence. It's unnatural. Swallowing all the normal sounds. It cranes the tension way up right before the big moment, the quiet
Before he reaches out.
Right. And we have to ask, what's the real psychological weight of him touching the tree? Based on your source material.
It feels huge.
It's way more than just breaking a rule. It's a physical act. He's engaging with the forbidden thing. It's a point of no return. He goes from being an observer, maybe a skeptic, to a participant. That act changes everything. He basically invites the curse in.
And the consequence is instant. It's this overwhelming sensory assault. A sudden whoosh, like wind and screams swirling, then layered voices speaking in gibberish.
It's pure disorientation, designed to just overwhelm him, break down his sense of reality.
You're not just hearing about it, you're sort of plunged into his terror.
And this is where the story reveals its real horror, why your source is so effective. It gives these specific, disturbing flashes. Amin sees a girl tied to the roots, my grandfather, burying something, a child screaming from inside the bark.
Horrifying fragments.
They're not random, are they? They feel like traumatic memories somehow in the tree. It suggests the tree isn't just, evil. It's like a living archive of pain, a witness. And he's just ripped it open, exposed himself to all that stored trauma.
And then comes the final, ultimate violation. A voice inside my head.
Oh.
You heard me, now I'm inside you.
Yeah. That's not just hearing something anymore. That's a total breach.
It's inside him.
Inside his mind, his self. It's a violation beyond the physical. It targets who he is. The warning he ignored isn't outside anymore. It's become part of his internal reality.
That's the terrifying twist on listening, isn't it? He didn't just hear the warning, he sort of absorbed the curse itself by engaging?
Exactly. The voice isn't external now. It's fused with him. He's not just a victim. He's kind of complicit because he touched it. It makes you wonder, right? When we ignore these deep warnings, do we just end up becoming part of the thing we were warned about?
Heavy thought. So Ahmed blacks out, wakes up 3 hours later, back in his grandfather's chair, and his hands are covered in soil.
That detail is so important. It's physical proof. It connects him directly to the tree, to the act. It grounds the curse in him, literally. He's marked by it.
And then there's the tree itself. He looks at it, and it was bleeding.
Chilling. What does that even mean? Is it wounded? Or is it leaking, exuding all that trauma he unleashed?
Maybe both. It's such a disturbing image. And it leads to his final state. He didn't sell the land.
Right, because now, every night, the tree doesn't whisper to me. It whispers through me.
Wow. So the transformation is complete.
Utterly complete.
Yeah.
He didn't just hear the curse. He's become its amplifier, its new voice.
He's a conduit.
A living conduit for its ancient pain. It's not external horror anymore. It's like this permanent internal colonization. His being is intertwined with it.
Which brings us to the very end of the narrative, where it turns outwards. It extends the curse directly to you, the listener, beyond just Ahmed's fate.
Yeah, that line. And sometimes, when I'm alone in the city, I hear the wind call your name. That's incredibly effective. It implies this thing isn't stuck in the village. It's not tied to that one tree, maybe.
It can travel.
Wow.
Or maybe it's everywhere.
Or it awakens anywhere.
Oh.
Makes you look sideways at every old tree, doesn't it? Makes you listen differently to the wind.
And the final piece of advice loops right back to the beginning, but now it feels personal for you. So if you ever walk past an old tree and it seems to shiver when you breathe, don't stop, don't turn, because it remembers you too.
Oof, that lands hard. It transforms something ordinary, walking past a tree, into this moment fraught with potential ancient dread.
So wrapping up this deep dive into the Whisper Tree's curse, it really shows how stories aren't just about fear, right? They pack in these profound ideas about memory, about legacy, about unseen connections to the land itself.
Absolutely. Your source really underscores that some stories, they function as a kind of inherited wisdom, almost a communication channel from the past. The land remembers, the soil remembers.
And sometimes the trees do too.
Whispering secrets, if you listen, or even if you don't.
So what's the takeaway for you? Here's a final thought to leave you with. Not all echoes you hear are from your past. Some might just be warnings from your future.